Hey friends, welcome to Woman-Owned Wallet, the podcast. I'm your host, Amanda Adrienne, a serial entrepreneur who has already made all of the money mistakes, so you don't have to. Now I'm working on my money mindset, expanding my companies, and having open conversations with women around a subject that shouldn't be so taboo, money. My company, Woman-Owned Wallet, and I are determined to help you foster a more positive relationship with your wallet and help you create a life that makes you say, wow. Hi, moneymakers. Welcome back to another episode of Woman-Owned Wallet, the podcast. This episode is the sweet life of the C-Suite. So you know I have my favorite C-Suite member back again, my COO, my Chief Operations Officer, Adrienne here. Adrienne, thank you for coming back on the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
So excited to have you here because the first episode of The Sweet Life of the C-Suite, we learned all about Adrienne and our journey together and how we got here as the most dynamic duo that ever existed. At least in this part of town. Yeah. In this small version of our world, we're pretty damn dynamic.
In our wow world.
In our wow world. Love it. I love the wow world.
Me too.
What a cool thing. So today we wanted to get a little bit more into the nitty gritty of business and talk through what's been going on at WOW for Q1 and Q2 of 2022.
Yeah.
Oh, that was my mind blown.
Wow. You've done so much in such a short amount of time.
I know. It's so much. Oh my God, that was the best breath out I've ever taken. Like, it was just like, so we've done so many things. And so I guess we should just say really quick as a recap for anything before this year is that we opened WOW in August of 2020, August 8th. So it's 08/08/2020. Very easy to remember.
Oh, some good numerology.
It is, right? I was like, 8's a really lucky number. I think in like the Chinese culture.
Yeah.
It's a really lucky number. And I was like, I'm just taking all the luck I can get. Let's go.
Yeah. It's worked out for us so far.
It sure has. It sure has. So we opened then and we had really, when I look back at the opening day pictures, the store's like empty.
I wasn't even there.
You weren't even at the opening.
I was at the NuLu Black.
You were working the NuLu Black that day.
Yeah, there was that weird time where like everyone, we had employees at WOW. Like, everyone except for me was over at WOW. And I was like, guys,
I want to hang out with you guys. Yeah. I know. I felt bad. I was like, I'm sorry, dude. We're figuring this out.
Yeah, I had to hold down the fort.
It was only like a couple months.
Yeah.
We moved above WOW in like December.
Yeah, it was cold. I remember that.
Because I wasn't sure if we would be able to get in before January, but we could.
Yeah.
So we moved into a studio space and out of our storefront for the NuLu Black, and it's now above Woman-Owned Wallet on Market Street in NuLu, which is like a downtown area of Louisville, Kentucky. And now we have offices and a podcast studio / content creation studio.
Yeah, we're just taking over this space.
We love it. There's so many opportunities in this building because there's 2 retail storefronts. There's a breezeway in between them, a really cool courtyard. There's 5 offices that are smaller. There's a shared kitchen, a bathroom, and then there's 2 basically like apartments upstairs. So there's so many opportunities to take over and have lots of cool stuff in this space.
Yeah.
So we were doing pretty good. I mean, our first year of WOW, which was August to August, we did make $100,000.
Yeah.
We made 6 figures in the first year.
Go us.
Y'all. I'm like, yeah, 6 figures in 6 months is bullshit. Like, blah, blah, blah. It can be.
Well, and also when you consider that everything in WOW is under $50, it makes it even more impressive.
Yeah, don't get mad at us because this holiday, I think we're going to go up to 75.
Yeah, but
it's probably going to be like 60.
It's going to be worth it because the products that are causing that push are going to be worth it.
So. 100%. Like, it was just this like number I put on WOW because there's so much around us that has like really high price points.
Yeah.
And we were like, what? $400 for like a bag? Okay. And like, that's just out of my price point. So I was like, well, if we're going to do this, we want to give women an opportunity to shop and give gifts to all their friends and themselves and their family and all the people they love at an affordable price point.
Yeah.
Which under 75 is still very affordable.
I think so. Yeah.
For good shit. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good dope sells itself.
Yep.
I mentioned that on another episode because it's just such a good line that Adrienne and I heard at a Startup Week Louisville.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a good. That was like the one I say all the time now.
Yeah.
So yeah, we had everything under that, and so much of it is stickers. $5 stickers. The fact that we made $100,000.
I didn't realize that stickers were such a hot commodity.
Me either, girl. Who knew?
I guess it's all those emotional support water bottles. Mm-hmm. They need covering.
They do.
Yeah.
I just have an emotional support
iced coffee.
Melted ice in my iced coffee. There's like 3 in the fridge usually at any given.
Yeah. I don't understand how you do that.
I know.
Mine's gone. Like, I can't keep a drink around.
I do drink them though. Like, I'll drink them the next day, which is gross, but it's in the fridge. Now I have switched over to a hot one.
Yeah.
Because even when the hot ones get cold, it doesn't bother me. Like I'm still drinking it. I like that it's cold now because it's like I get a hot coffee and an iced coffee in the same day.
Yeah. Well, especially with the weather too. Kentucky weather is always switching up. But in the morning it's cold, and then in the afternoon it's hot. Mm-hmm. So kind of your coffee just goes along for your day.
Exactly. There you go.
Yeah.
See, it makes sense. So yeah, we made 6 figures our first year. It felt so good to be able to do that. And then the world was opening up a little bit more because remember, 2020 was like our opening. We didn't make that much money, but then getting into 2021, once everybody got like vaccinated, and June was really crazy for us that year. Oh my God, because people are like, finally, I've been in my house for a year plus. I'm ready to get out.
Yeah.
But they couldn't quite travel yet.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt like we met a lot of our like local customer in that year, in 2021 in June. And then we hit our 6 figures by August, had a really great holiday season. And then 2022.
Mm-hmm.
Then I kind of caught us up. I mean, there's a lot more shit that happened, but
we could go on for days.
Yeah. We should just have an entire Sweet Life of the C-Suite podcast. But that's okay. We're going to condense. So in 2022, January, we welcomed Adrienne to being the COO of WOW and the New Black.
Yeah.
Officially.
Double.
You got 2 promotions at once. That's amazing, though.
Yeah.
Like,
who does that?
You were definitely always the CEO of the New Black. Ever since we moved out of the mall, you definitely were.
Yeah.
But it was good to give you that official title.
Yeah. Well, because it's also whenever working for a small business and people are like, what do you do? Mm-hmm. You're like, what don't I do? Like, I do a little bit of everything. So, but also, having a laid out position and title is also, but I still do a little bit of everything.
Yeah. The beauty of it is that operations goes into every part of the business. So you definitely have your hand in every cookie jar.
Yeah. That's the way I like it.
And that's the way the C-suite has to be. Like, I needed to make sure that with this new position and with this official title and the salary and
benefits.
Y'all, she has like a month off in the year.
It's great. I know.
I was like,
still got days I got to use up before.
I know. I was like, take those days, please. You got mental health days, you got sick days, you got bereavement days, you get your birthday off paid.
Yeah.
All the holidays of the year. And then on top of that, you get PTO. I'm a really good boss.
Living large.
I say that and then I go away for 7 weeks and leave Adrienne by herself. She's like, bitch.
It's a trade-off.
So we added Adrienne to the C-suite. And I really wanted to have that weight a little bit of like, this is serious. This WOW isn't going anywhere. It is only going up. Mm-hmm. And I need that support that you had always given me to have a title that matched it. I always needed that.
Yeah.
And I have moved you over more into WOW. And we kind of took a little bit of a moment, a little breather with the new black, and we put it online, still available. Order it today, please. We love you. We will make you a dress, a jumpsuit. However, we knew that we had to put so much focus into WOW. Whereas like 2021, it was like 50% WOW, 50% the new black. And before that, it was like 100% the new black, 0 to WOW. So like we shifted. And then in 2022, we knew that like 90% needed to be in WOW.
Mm-hmm.
So we shifted everything over, gave you them those PTO, those sweet, sweet days, and health insurance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You guys know I was like all last season, I was like, and I got to offer health insurance this year. And I feel like such a bad bitch. But here's the bad bitch that gets the health insurance.
Yeah.
Adrienne's
That's
here.
right.
She's proof.
Yeah. And it's made a world of a difference. I love it. I always hated, like, I had health insurance whenever I worked at the theater, but then there was like a couple of years where I had to do all the health insurance stuff myself, and I hate it.
It's not fun.
No, it's not fun. So it's great. It's a weight off my shoulders. So.
Absolutely. And I feel like just because we both utilize Gusto, and Gusto is generous and gave us a beautiful affiliate link that we're going to tell you all about a lot on this podcast, where I just feel like because of Gusto, it made all of that possible.
Yeah.
And that's what we run our payroll on. That's what we run HR through. We have performance reviews from it. And even you have Gusto Wallet.
Yeah, which is great.
Yeah. Can you explain that a little bit?
Yeah. So it's an app that Gusto created that basically it's an at a glance for your account. So you see when you're getting paid next, you're able to split up your paycheck, your direct deposits. So you can split it multiple ways. So like for me, half of it goes into my personal, half of it goes into my joint account with my husband. And then they also allow you to have savings goals. So if you want a certain dollar amount taken out of your paycheck, each paycheck, it will pull that aside for you as well. So like in a few years, I'm going to need a new car because mine is old. And
a few years, we're getting a new one before that.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to shit out soon at some point. So I'm just anticipating that. So I've started like a savings goal to help me whenever that happens. But yeah, it's great. And then just Gusto itself has been really helpful for us in terms of, you know, streamlining some things. And, you know, they make the whole onboarding process very easy for new hires, which we've done a few of for WOW this year. Yeah, payroll, they track your time. They do all kinds of things. It's basically putting all the tools you need at your fingertips, which is awesome.
I completely agree. And I've been such a lover of using Gusto in my business since I started hiring employees for the new black. So I've used them for 6 years plus. I mean, I didn't utilize them, I think, the first year of the new black because I just didn't have employees. But ever since then, amazing. And they make sure that they file all the taxes, figure out all the taxes for you, and then they withdraw that from your account with the payroll and they pay it to the respective places. So it's like amazing that I don't have to worry about taxes with y'all.
Yeah.
It's all handled. Payroll taxes can be so much and so confusing if you let them. And Gusto makes it so easy. And it also allows us to like create so much of our own experience within it. So like you can add, like you said, the onboarding. So like it does the new hire filing for you. So I was like, oh, thanks. And it does where it sends them everything with their W-4s, W-2s, I-9s, like all the forms. And I've never felt as a business owner that I had my shit together as much as I do when I'm like, my payroll's handled. Yeah. My HR is handled. And it even just immediately, like I don't have to do anything for it to send you a W-2.
Right.
And or 1099s for employees that we've had. The only thing is you can't be the only employee on there. So if you're self-employed, it's not the best option. But if you hire on your first employee, hire them on with like the confidence that Gusto gives you.
Yeah.
Because I've done it other ways and it's fucking terrible.
And
so
Gusto's
many ways.
Just so user-friendly.
It is. And it's not even that expensive. So if you utilize our affiliate link, that's going to be in the show notes. you receive a $100 Visa gift card after you run your first payroll. And we receive money from Gusto as well. So I'm happy personally to walk you through that on a Zoom call or in person and help you hire your first, hopefully women or just minority people, especially women of color. And I hope that I can entice you to pay them even more. So maybe I'm good and maybe I'm not, and just, people that are LGBTQIA plus, please make sure that we're creating these amazing new businesses with spaces for as many cool people as possible. And Gusto makes that easy. And as we've scaled and grown and brought on new people, it's only a few dollars extra per person.
Yeah, they have multiple different plans depending on the stage of your business. So
absolutely. So it can be the start and the end.
Yeah.
And all the middle too. If you've listened to the podcast before, you probably heard me mention how I recently was able to start providing health insurance to my long-term love of an employee, Adrienne, my COO. This was a first for me, and I couldn't have done it without the help of Gusto. Thank you so much, Gusto. This is an easy-to-use human resources platform that makes growing your business a breeze. No matter the size or stage of your business, Gusto puts the tools you need to hire, pay, and manage your team all at your fingertips. Whether you're hiring your first employee or looking to raise productivity amongst your team, Gusto has a plan for your small business. Head on over to our show notes for our affiliate link to unlock your team's potential today. Let me know if you use our link because I'll happily, personally walk you through starting on Gusto and running your very first payroll. Because if you use our link, you get a $100 Visa gift card, and Gusto provides me a little kickback too, so I can help you for free. Let me know when you're ready to get started with Gusto. So it's really cool. Definitely check that out. Definitely wasn't planning to run through all of that, but I was like, Adrienne knows.
Yeah.
We both utilize it, and she's the one who's doing payroll right now as a COO. But as we bring on a CFO, I'm going to offload that.
Which is fine by me because I am not a numbers person. Amanda will tell you.
I'm the numbers girl.
Yep.
Adrienne's the words.
That's right.
You'd think I knew words because I talk so much, but it's a lot of fluff.
Yeah.
But I know my numbers. I love numbers. And I think that's why, I love them when I can remove the
pressure.
Emotion and pressure. Sometimes I'll apply for a loan. Like Adrienne saw me do this where I was like, all right, that's all I can do today. I'm serious. I have to go home.
Out.
I was like, this is stressful. I have to leave. She's like, okay. I'm like, that's all I have today. I'm sorry. I don't have anything else left for you. So we have to plan out the financial days. Mm-hmm. And that's why Melissa's so important to me, because she's held my hand through so many things that I just needed some support around, in recognizing that I had financial trauma and I didn't have enough financial literacy for so long. It was way too much.
Yeah.
So
we love Melissa.
We love you. We love you, Melissa. We know you're listening. But yeah, so we brought on you as COO, and kind of the weight of that, but also all the benefits and all the perks that come with it.
Yeah.
And now you're sitting, or you're standing tall, sitting right now, but you're sitting tall too.
Yeah.
In your position, and you're taking it seriously, and you're developing yourself as a leader. You're a great manager as well. And I feel like for me, as somebody who is all about the numbers, one of my lacks of communication is I don't write anything down. I just need somebody to write things, follow me around and write shit down.
Yeah.
And after all of our meetings, Adrienne does that really well.
Yeah, I'm a big note taker.
List
maker.
She is. And I keep it all, that's what I internally process is what I need to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I can just get them all done. So it doesn't ever bother me, but I know that as I grow as a leader, that clear communication is kind communication. And my goal is to be kind and clear. And it allows us to grow together. versus me just being by myself. But I was by myself for a very long time.
You were.
So that's a hard one to break. But I'm good at delegating.
Yeah, you are good.
I'm like, no, I don't want to do all the things. I just want to do what I'm really great at. And I know you're really great at the opposite. Let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you don't have to do all the shit you don't want to do.
Yeah.
Just some of it.
Yeah. As we discussed, that delegating is our word for 2023 and some of 2022.
Yeah, I think we did a good job of 2022, but we're always getting better at it. Well, for Q1, so we brought you on. You got that health insurance, that sweet, sweet health insurance.
Yeah.
And we celebrated your 3 years in January 2022. Why don't you tell the people what we did?
We went to Disneyland. No, we did go to Disneyland, but we did a lot of other things. So as Amanda has probably told you before on the podcast, the past couple of years, she's taken a few weeks off at a time to kind of go get her mind right, reflect, come up with some new ideas for the business. And so she went to LA this past time, and she was there for, how many weeks were you there for?
I stayed in LA for a month. And before I went to LA, I went on a cruise with my family to Mexico. And that was like technically my vacation.
Yeah.
Because then I just call them retreats.
Yeah.
I retreat into my own cocoon, and then I process and, like you said, kind of process what has already happened and think of things that we could do in the future. And I did that in LA this time. In 2021, I did it in Orlando.
Yeah.
So both times I went to Disney because I love Disney.
Yeah. So towards the end of her stay, the last 2 weeks, she flew me out. Very fancy.
So fancy on that Frontier flight.
It was a Spirit flight.
Spirit.
And I'll tell you what, it was a great flight.
It was direct, at least.
It was direct. I got the whole entire row to myself. And we flew through the sunset the whole entire time.
Oh,
it was
so
beautiful.
Pretty.
Yeah, it was great. So yeah, met you there, and Amanda had a bunch of things planned for us. We were doing quite a bit of work. We were doing a lot of content work.
Yeah, mostly content creation.
We were meeting with manufacturers as well for the
fabric
new black,
sourcing.
Yeah, fabric sourcing. So we were doing business stuff. We got to go to Buka Studios for a content day, which was super fun. There's a girl on Instagram who we both love. Her name is Champagne, and she has this cat. Her and her cat have become famous on Instagram and TikTok, and her cat's name is Pony.
Yeah,
and
we love Champagne and Pony.
Yes, a very sassy little cat that loves to talk. And they're both fashionistas, and we love them. But Champagne has a content studio in downtown LA where she does a lot of murals, but each wall was a different setup, different color waves. So basically you can rent it out. And we brought tons of outfits and shot a bunch of content.
We brought too much.
We brought a lot. Yeah.
And LA was hard to navigate and park in. So we were late. Yeah. But I mean, I just paid for it. So it was fine. And luckily nobody was after us.
Right.
So we just kept saying so we're not done yet.
Yeah. Just
can I order extra hours?
Yeah.
They were like, yeah, of course. No one's here. Right. Please pay me more money. And I was like, I'd love to put money in your wallet.
Yeah. But it was great because it's one of those things that you see on Instagram all the time. Champagne was always, shooting there, obviously, because it's her studio. But just to go and see it in person was really fun as well.
Because, we're just small town girls.
Just small town girls doing big things.
Big things. And I think, when you guys see us, you'll see us on social media and you think it's this massive place because we got, big dick energy, basically. And big witch energy right now with spooky season. But we definitely, it's a 400 square foot space. It's not that big, but we definitely command. The most out of it. Yeah. We do. We have a commanding presence. And we try to be as big as we can and do as much as we can with our space. And it's truly not about the space. It's just when you guys walk in and you get the vibes. That's what we got when we went to Buka Studios.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
So we went a whole day and it was amazing.
Yeah.
And that wasn't even the first thing we did.
No.
It was right when you got there, we went to Pink Taco.
Yeah.
Had some pink tacos.
Was it the first night that we had the encounter with the possum?
Oh,
all the time. I think
we got locked out
of her
the Airbnb.
Yeah, and the people who lived in the front, like we were staying in a little guest house behind the main house, and they were there. The guy was just asleep, like he was passed out in his recliner.
Yeah, probably high, which is fine. I'm down.
It's legal there. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we couldn't get him to wake up. We were like knocking on their door at like 10 p.m. trying to get, because the gate was locked. So we couldn't even get to.
It wasn't even the house that was locked. It was the gate. The keypad had died. Like the battery in the keypad died. And so we couldn't get in. And I was like, I'm sorry, Adrienne, that this is your first moments in LA.
Yeah.
And like, can't even get into the fence.
Right. But
so
we figured it out.
We turned over your suitcase.
Yep.
And I stepped on it, which was kind of a hard suitcase.
Yeah, it's like a hard shell case.
And then I stepped up onto, I took my shoes off. I stepped up onto the big trash can recycling bin. It was like a tall one.
Uh-huh.
And I was going to jump over, but I was like, I'm going to hurt my fucking ankles. And there's no way I'm going to have Adrienne jump this when I'm responsible for you. And this is brand new health insurance. Like, we're still figuring it out at that point.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit, wait, I can just lift the handle from the back. So I took my purse and I put it over the fence and I lifted the handle instead of having to jump over.
Yeah.
But then
all while that's happening, I'm like, listen, Amanda, I don't want to startle you, but I need you to know that there's a possum, like a big possum watching us do all this. And it's right over there, just staring us down. But he scurried off and it was fine. But we eventually made it in.
Luckily. Yeah. But I don't know if you remember this part, but the recycling bin I was standing on was in front of the door. So we couldn't open it.
Oh, yeah.
And we had to like scoot me on it. Over a little bit.
It was a whole ordeal, you guys.
It was really funny.
It was a whole thing.
So then we got in and we were like, I just messaged the people and she was like, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm out of town. And I was like, yeah, your husband's like sleeping. Like we tried, and I said, I didn't want you to think I was breaking into your house because they have like outdoor cameras and stuff, which I appreciate because I'm a true crime bitch. So I'm like, please make sure I know who's coming in. But they had, and I was like, you can just watch that footage. It's going to be pretty funny. So, and she said, she was so apologetic. She was like, I'm so sorry. Like I was staying there a month. So, I mean, I paid them a lot of money, to be able to stay there and stuff. And she felt so bad, which she was so sweet. And she was like, if you ever want to come stay again, this was amazing. I was like, it really was.
Yeah. It was in a great spot too.
Really good. It was very like central almost. Mm-hmm. It was in Mid-City.
Yeah.
I kind of forget. Okay.
Mid-City or was it Midtown?
Culver?
I don't quite remember.
I think it was Mid-City.
Yeah.
It feels right.
We'll roll with it.
Someone can correct us. Polly can correct us. Yeah. But then also they had a dog named Homer.
Yeah. Homer. He was so cute.
He was so sweet and so soft. His little ears. He was like a
little velvet ears, like a Cocker Spaniel.
Cocker Spaniel, yeah.
Yeah. He was cute.
So cute. So we stayed in this really cute guest house. Like we were on 2 different floors. And the next morning we got up and we went on a Real Housewives tour.
Yeah. Ooh, that was so fun.
We are big Housewives fans.
Yeah. Big Bravo bitches over here.
Bravo bitches. Let's go. I know. I talked to my sister-in-law recently when I went to visit.
Uh-huh.
And I found out that she is like a major fan.
Oh.
And I didn't know either.
Yeah.
And I was like, so now I know who to go to BravoCon with because I've got a few of you guys that I know we would all enjoy.
I just got an ad for BravoCon.
You did.
I was like, ugh.
Maybe that's what we'll do for year 4 celebration.
There you go.
I think it would work.
Yeah.
I don't know when it is, I guess.
We'll look at it. Maybe soon. So I don't know. We'll see. But
next year.
Yeah. And that was, you booked the tour through like Airbnb or something, right?
Yeah, I do a lot through Airbnb. I just I like the app experience and everything. So I booked it through there and it was this guy that picked us up in a white Bronco because he also did a OJ Simpson tour.
Yeah, I think that's how he started his tour business, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he was telling us that he had people like taking the tour one time and then
They asked him
about a Housewives tour.
Yeah, they're like, we can't find anything that's about Housewives or Vanderpump Rules.
Yeah,
we actually did
both.
We did a mashup.
Yeah, and it was great because this guy, he was like, oh, well, maybe if that's not a thing on the market, like I'll do it. And he sat down and watched all the seasons.
All of them.
Like
for
all
both
of them.
shows.
Yeah. It was wild.
Yeah.
But it was great because like as we were walking up to the Bronco, I was like, man, you know what'd be really cool is if they had like at each spot that we stopped at, they had the clip from the show of like what went down there. And he did. He had an iPad in his car and he'd be like, and this is the infamous spot where it's not about the pasta. And he would like play the clip for us and you just got to like relive that moment. And it was really fun.
It was really fun.
It was.
And then he told us like that pasta was a euphemism for coke.
Yeah.
For cocaine.
Which makes so much sense. I don't know how.
I had no idea.
Pick that up. But
I was like, oh, I thought it was just pasta. He was like, oh, maybe it's an LA thing.
Yeah.
Thanks for letting us know.
Right.
And then we did a combo tour of Vanderpump Rules and Beverly Hills Housewives because we couldn't go to every housewives house because
they're gated.
Well, they're gated and they're further away.
Yeah.
But we did see Kathy Hilton's, I think, old house now. She might not live there anymore.
I think she moved.
Which was literally down the street from Lisa Rinna's. I didn't realize, like, not even, they were like next door
very
neighbors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we saw Kyle Richards' old house. Mm-hmm. We saw Lisa Vanderpump's from a very far distance because we could not get into her neighborhood.
We looked at it from one mountaintop to her mountaintop far away.
Yeah, I think his name was Adam. He was like, see that giant thing right over there? And we're like, yeah.
Villa Rosa. We could tell it was because it's so distinct.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, is that Diamonds and Rose? Her mini ponies?
The mini ponies.
And like the swing.
The swans.
Hanky and Panky.
Yeah, so good.
I'm just trying to be as like cute as her too. I mean, I know she did a lot of weird shit, but there's a lot of good shit too. We went to Vanderpump Dogs.
We did. We stopped by there. We saw a lot of the apartments and houses from Vanderpump Rules.
Yeah, which were not that exciting as the houses because they actually were just waitresses and waiters when they were on it.
But we saw some of their like businesses and other restaurants and things. Yeah, Tom Tom. We drove by.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then once we finished up with that, we like walked around the Beverly Hills Hotel, tried to get pictures, and then this guy on a Segway shooed us away.
Yeah. Rude.
I was like, dude, people just want to take a picture.
Why not put a gate in the drive if you don't want people coming up it?
You think they would like put more effort into that?
Yeah.
So we did that, and then we were kind of like, we got some food probably, something like that. And then I think went by the Oppenheim group for Sunset.
Yeah.
Sunset Strip, all of that. That was really fun. And then the next day, I want to say it was the next day, we went to, maybe that was Buka Studios was the second day. Yeah,
Buka was a little bit later in the week, I think.
Yeah, because we really only stayed for like 4 days in LA. And then you and I went to Anaheim. But in LA, we also drove out to Malibu.
Yeah.
And I brought you to my personal favorite place in the world, Paradise Cove.
That was so fun.
It is so cool. And we had such an expensive dinner. Everything in LA was expensive though. Like I can't afford to live there.
I mean, the parking tickets alone.
Y'all. I spent $1,000 in parking, not just tickets, but in parking.
Yeah.
And valets and tips and parking garages and an $160 ticket I got.
Yeah. It's insane.
That's so hard.
Yeah, we think we're so spoiled here. We think I got a parking ticket that was like $15 the other day because I was parked outside of the store and they randomly decided to start enforcing parking tickets again. They never do,
and then they did. Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, it's only $15. That's not that bad.
Just $15.
Yeah.
But yeah, that $160 one was pretty rude.
Was steep.
And it was literally like when I was trying to get my nails done before we went to Buka Studios.
Yeah.
Which I got them done. I just remembered by a girl who was from Louisville.
She had like just moved there, right?
No, she'd still been there. Oh, wait. I think during the pandemic. I think you're right. So she lived there and she was doing like, I think she lived there before, then moved back and she got quarantined in Louisville and then she went back to LA.
Oh, yeah.
So she had been there longer. And she had a really cool like boxer boyfriend that she was telling me about. And she was like, I can't go to his matches, but he has one right now. So I might have to answer if he wins or loses. Like he was like a real boxer.
Yeah.
And then she told me that she does Kelly Rowland's nails. And I was like, what? Destiny's Child's nails? What? Yeah. And she was like, yeah, we have a really good relationship. And she brought me as her plus one to Serena Williams' wedding.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
And I was like, what the fuck? And she was like, and Beyonce was at my table. And Jay.
Wow. Can you imagine? I don't think I'd be able to
she wasn't
keep
allowed to
cool.
have. She said it was so hard.
Yeah. Were they like, don't look at Beyonce?
I think they had to not have phones and stuff. So
that's fair.
There was no sneaky photos or anything, but you could just have conversation. And I'm sure with her being with Kelly, it was probably fine. But yeah, it was just I felt so fancy. And she was from Louisville. So we were talking about back home and all this stuff. And she did a great job.
Yeah.
I loved my nails. I did the pink so we could do all the content creation. It was awesome. So we went to Malibu and we had a beautiful, expensive dinner.
It was lunch.
Oh, it was lunch. You're right.
Yeah, because we shot content after that.
Yeah.
In the sunset.
We tried to meet up with that one manufacturer and our timing got off.
Yeah.
And then we did go out there to Malibu and just sat on the beach, feet in the sand, drinking out of pineapples. And we decided that celebrating your 1-year anniversary, since we didn't get to celebrate we did, but it's pandemic and it wasn't big. So going out to LA, the first year anniversary was the Housewives tour. The second was Malibu and the third year was Disneyland.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we hung out on the beach and it was just gorgeous. We just enjoyed the day.
Yeah.
And we ate very slowly so we could stay.
Yeah.
And then we went into the little cove area and we shot some video. I did a bunch of voiceover stuff. It was just so cute.
Yeah. If you scroll around on our Instagram, you can probably see some of those.
Yeah.
Although I feel like we haven't really posted a ton from
I think this opportunity for us to talk about it will allow us to share a lot of that again.
Yeah.
So just as you see these episodes popping up, since you're a subscriber already, definitely check out our Instagram and we'll kind of revive our LA trip a little bit because you're right. We didn't share as much as we could have.
Yeah.
And then we went to Sir and had dinner.
Think about that garlic pasta.
Oh, so good.
It's just giant flakes of garlic. I'm load me up.
Load me up. It's so good. And then we saw DJ James Kennedy.
Yes.
And a bunch of guys from the show.
Yeah.
From Vanderpump Rules.
Yeah.
It was cool.
We didn't see, I will say the thing from our trip is on the Housewives tour, we saw Crystal, her husband.
Yeah. The director of The Lion King.
Yeah. We saw
Rob.
him. We saw a lot of the men from Vanderpump Rules and Housewives, but none of the women, which was kind of a bummer.
Yeah.
But
I saw Kevin from The Office.
Oh, yeah.
Right,
driving down the street. We were driving down the strip.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was outside of a hotel.
There he is. He was taking a picture, getting interviewed or something. Yeah. And then we saw Guillermo, who is one of the restaurant owners with Sir.
Yeah.
But yeah, we didn't see any of the ladies.
Nope.
No ladies, all the boys.
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird because, no offense, but we want to see the ladies.
Yeah. I'm here for the ladies.
But we're not good with famous people. I'm not actually good. We didn't ask
I would
for
never
photos.
go up and say hi. I just admire from afar.
Yeah. Can't do it. Can't do it. Well, we did see another housewife later on, so we'll talk about that. But once we left there, we went to Disneyland and we went to both sides, California Adventure and Disneyland. And Adrienne hadn't been there before.
Yeah. I'd only been to Disney World in Florida. So new experience for me. It was great. I hadn't been to Disney in I think the last time I went, I was 10. 12.
Yeah, you told me it was something
I was
that.
Really young.
Really young.
Yeah. So I never really experienced it as an adult, which was pretty fun.
See, it is fun, you guys.
Yeah.
As an adult. Wear your Disney ears and enjoy.
Yeah. Amanda got me Disney ears for the occasion.
I got you lavender ones with a pink mini bow.
Yeah. They're very fitting.
They were. If you guys don't know this, my color is pink and Adrienne is lavender or just any kind of those pastels, purples. Yeah. Power color. It is your power color?
Yeah.
That's true. Well, I'll just kind of think it's red is Aries power color, but pink's just a lighter shade of red.
There you go.
It's fine.
Red is the color of WOW as well.
Yeah, it is. You're right.
Pink and red.
Bringing them together to enjoy.
Y'all know that I love being kind, generous, and I love something sweet. No surprise there. Well, after I got a really negative comment on TikTok, I was introduced to the most loving, kind woman named Ashley. Ashley is the owner of Kindness Cookies, and she sent me a massive box full of amazing cookies for me to enjoy. I think I ate them for like a month straight because they're individually wrapped. And now, Kindness Cookies is a sponsor of the WOW podcast. So let me tell you about them. Kindness Cookies is a small, woman-owned business that ships gourmet, chewy, soft cookies nationwide. The mission of the company is to spread kindness through their cookies and through their charitable donations, which makes it the perfect gift for celebrations, birthdays, and really just every day because, well, you always need something sweet, right? I sure do. Every month, there's a new flavor and a new charity to support, so you can put your money where your mouth is. Kindness Cookies has seriously hooked us up with a discount for WOW listeners. You can use code WOW for 25% off your first order with Kindness Cookies.
So we did Malibu, we did Disneyland, we had the best time, and then we went to a trade show, our first trade show we've ever attended.
Yeah.
We were not vendors, but we were looking for woman-owned businesses to sell in the shop, and some of them we still have.
Yeah.
Boobies is definitely one.
Hotline hair ties.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we found some cool ones. And we also got to see Melissa.
Yeah, Melissa
Gorga and Joe.
Yes, from Real Housewives of New Jersey.
Yes.
She was a speaker at the trade show.
Mm-hmm.
So we made sure to get there in time that day.
We had to leave early.
Yeah.
We're like, okay, bye, Disneyland, we love you, but Housewives.
Yeah.
So there's definitely like, it was really cool. But again, we didn't get any photos with them because we're just like, we're too.
Yeah. I just don't want to be like, so many people swarmed them. Like Joe Gorga was standing maybe like 5 feet away from us.
So close.
In the back, just like admiring his wife do her thing.
So cute.
But like people were just like constantly coming up to him, asking him for photos. And like, he didn't seem annoyed, but I just don't ever want to be that person.
I agree. I mean, I think it's really cool that we were just near them and like that.
Breathing the same air.
Well, but even like when we get people that walk into the store and they're like, I found you on TikTok.
Yeah.
And they're like so nervous. And I'm like, oh, hi. Like, like we're just humans. They're just humans. Mm-hmm. And he seemed pretty happy about it.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think he liked the attention.
Sure. I'm sure he does. But I just feel like it's the whole parasocial thing that's happening right now where you think you know somebody because you've watched their life.
Right.
On TV or on Instagram.
Yeah. And it's like in reality, it's a very small snippet of their life.
Yeah.
Like,
such a tiny part of it.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I don't know. I feel weird. I don't really like my fantasy worlds truly becoming my reality.
Because you don't want to be let down. I feel like that's what people always say about like meeting their heroes. They don't ever want to meet their heroes because they're afraid of being let down by them or being different than what they've built up in their head, you know?
Yeah, like I like that they're, and I don't know, I know they're humans, but they're my entertainment.
Yeah.
They're my escape, and they know that. Mm-hmm. And I'm happy to be that for other people as well. But I also just know that they don't fully know me and that I don't fully know them, like these stars or whatever. But since everybody has access, you know, to being a content creator and being out in the world right now, we all think we know everyone. And then it allows so much opportunity, like you said, to like let us down.
Yeah.
And I just am totally fine with it being fantasy and like escapism versus actually needing the photo. What am I going to do with the photo?
Yeah. I'm going to like, yeah, it's like, what am I going to do with the photo? Because I don't post shit to Instagram. So what do I want it for?
Yeah. Are you really going to post it on yours, or are you just going to wait another year to post one more picture of Callie?
Although I will say, I think that I did post some videos of James Kennedy, DJ James Kennedy to my Instagram.
It's just kind of like, it's like I like to be adjacent.
Yeah.
But I don't need to be.
Yeah, I don't want to be up in it, but I want to watch from afar.
Yeah. Because I took video of Melissa speaking.
Yeah.
but she's on stage.
Mm-hmm.
And so I didn't feel like that's annoying.
Yeah.
And DJ Kennedy is on stage.
Yeah.
So it's not as weird to me.
Right.
So yeah, anyways, but we had a great time and we found some cool people. We stayed in Paris, the hotel in Las Vegas.
Had a great view of the Eiffel Tower from our room.
The Eiffel Tower lit up and the Bellagio fountains were behind it. And it was so cool.
Yeah.
Such a cool experience.
It was cool. Although I feel like we were so like maxed out on social interaction. So like even after the trade show, like so many people would go out and do stuff afterwards. And we were like, you want to go get some pizza and sit in the room?
And we were like, yes, let's do it. And honestly, like we just spent time at Disneyland for like, we were walking around. The trade show was massive. Like we spent all of the time before that in LA doing stuff. Like we were just tired. Like we didn't fully experience Vegas.
No.
By any means.
Well, we'll just have to go back.
But you did play your first like slot machine?
I did gamble for the first. Well, no, not the first time. I've gambled on the boat here before when that was, a thing. But yeah, first time in a Vegas casino and Vegas at all. So.
Yeah. I mean, I went to Vegas when I was like 17 or 18. So like I couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
And I think I won money, like $75, which covered our dinner that we had at that Italian restaurant.
Oh my God.
That
so
Sterling
good.
suggested.
Yes.
I can't remember what it's called. It was so good. It's been there like for forever.
Either. Yeah, but was it Al Pacino?
I mean,
there all the time?
Lot of people. Like when I guess the Italians are not starstruck ever.
Yeah,
like,
it's just like a spot where like one of the old mobsters used to hang out all the time. I can't remember which one it was.
Yeah, there's pictures like all over the walls.
Yeah, but
signed.
It's very dark, like had multiple courses, like so good. Free table wine. Gotta love that.
Yeah, you had table wine and a cappuccino at the end, free salad or soup, the bread. And then we just ordered our entrees and it was like, I mean, it was maybe, I don't know, everything like I said, it's not expensive to stay in Vegas. It's expensive to eat.
Yeah.
So expensive to eat. So
that wasn't even like for all that food.
That's what I'm saying. Like it was actually a really great deal.
Yeah,
and maybe we had
Sterling.
thanks Sterling. Of course, you know the coolest spaces to go. You do events and everything. You've got this, finger on the pulse. So yeah, we went there, had a fun conversation with the guy at the table next to us.
Credit with Jay.
Jay knows credit.
Jay knows credit. Yeah.
It was funny. I mean, it was great. I was like, oh, I'm learning things.
Yeah.
Because he was talking to the guy at the table next to him, and everybody was pretty close.
Yeah.
And we were kind of tired of talking. We were just listening and eating. And anyways, we left there. We drove the 4 days back to Louisville, and we might have made it in 3 or 3.5.
Yeah, we did it fast.
We did do it fast. And we listened to Morbid, the podcast, the whole way.
Well, we did watch some Disney movies.
I was telling somebody earlier, and I think it's on this podcast with maybe Melissa, where I was like, we decided at nighttime we would watch Disney movies because then it's not as scary. And watching the movie at night, it just shows up so much better in the car. So like it wasn't too bright outside. But then all day, it was like, and her head got cut off and her legs got cut off. And it's like, and he ate them and like disgusting craziness that we're like, what the fuck? And it just, I love to be shocked. So like all of that is shocks me still. But also like it validates women so much for true crime.
Yeah.
Like we knew this shit was happening. And yeah, I'm scared everywhere I go.
And I feel like a lot of the ones that we were listening to, it was like, like the Sunset Strip Killers where we had just been and we were like, oh, that could have been us.
Yeah. And they were fucking crazy.
Yeah, they were.
Please listen to Morbid and listen to the Sunset Strip Killers. We also listened to multiple parters. So they got really deep into it. But it really helps. They're such great storytellers. It really helps your day go by.
Yeah. Morbid is like, I'm not huge into the true crime podcast, but I did like Morbid because they keep it light.
Yeah.
And like their banter back and forth is always helpful to like
shit.
break it up, But yeah, I mean, for hours. And then we ended up in a random town where we like would be like, we're done driving for the night. Let's get a hotel room.
Yeah.
Like,
but remember that one gas station that the bathroom was like definitely a crime scene?
Yeah. Yeah. Everything about that,
so
the lighting,
the
like
people.
it was
but
weird.
we needed gas.
We were like, where are we right now?
And I didn't have a good answer. I was like, here, it's fine. Just go be really fast. We're going to leave.
It might have been Texas. Because the first night, I think we made it to like Amarillo.
Yeah,
right?
Amarillo. We stopped there. We stopped in
St. Louis.
St. Louis.
So we might have done it in 2.5 days.
Well, we did a full day of driving. We left Vegas.
Yeah.
Full day of driving Amarillo. Full day of driving St. Louis. Half day of driving.
Yeah.
So 3.5 days of driving.
Yeah.
But not staying.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to cancel the last night in Vegas because we were like, you know what? This trade show's like fine. But I was like so homesick.
Yeah. You're like, I've been gone for a month.
Way too long.
And I'm ready to be back.
I was gone for 7 weeks, Adrienne.
Yeah. Over a month.
I was like,
So
I
long.
miss my husband so bad. I was so ready to get home. So we got back. We had a few days off separate from one another
Yeah.
because, we spent a lot of time together,
Mm-hmm.
which honestly, like, I never felt like we had awkward moments or
Yeah.
weird silences or too much conversation. I felt like we did a good job of.
Yeah. I mean, when I told people that I was like going on a 2-week trip with my boss, they were like, what?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well,
It's okay.
I mean, I was like, we're friends too, but like, yes, she is my boss and we're working, but we're also like playing too.
Right.
There's a
We're
whole thing.
celebrating.
Yeah. I feel like the only time like on the trip that we actually got mad was when we got the road rage trying to go to Anaheim.
Oh my God. Because it was Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah.
Weekend. Super Bowl weekend because we went on a Friday.
Mm-hmm. But they were already like blocking stuff off and we
Yes.
had to go by the stadium to like get out.
And we did that random photo shoot right at the end
Mm-hmm.
because the guy and I had to like reschedule, through Airbnb. And it was cool. I mean, I love those pictures. But I was wearing my pink jumpsuit that I love, that I wear in a lot of our stuff. And my air conditioning went out. And we were in the car for 3+ hours to get to Anaheim.
Yeah,
from
the drive
LA.
from where we were staying to Anaheim, like
It's supposed to be 40
it was like
minutes.
45 minutes. Yeah, and it took us
3.5 hours.
Yeah.
Like over 3 for
Mhm.
sure. And I was like the most pissed I've ever been
Yeah.
because I hate being hot. And I
Yeah.
got so hot and it kept redirecting us because
drank our frappuccinos too quick.
we did. And we're in the car. So like we could have stopped, but like, we're just trying to get out of LA before it got worse.
Mm-hmm.
And goodness, because I mean, the Bengals played.
Yeah.
So like we were excited because that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, fuck this town. I'm getting out of here. Like my fucking air conditioner. Like I just could not. I can't. When I get hot, I can't control
This is a woman
self.
who like has ice packs on
Yeah.
hand at all times
Yeah.
because she'll like come in from being outside and she's like, I'm too hot.
I'm too hot. I sit in front of a fan. I sit on an ice pack while I sew. I have one on my back. I sleep with them. I hate being hot. I know. Summer's not my vibe. But I was born in Vermont and I think it's the snow.
Maybe
I was born in the
little
snow.
snow baby at heart.
I think so. I love the snow.
Not me, man. I can leave that.
You're like, leave me alone. So we got back and then we ended up having one of our biggest sales months in March of 2022. And it was a really cool thing because there's this thing in Louisville called Bachfest. And Adrienne's going to tell you all about it because she looked up all the fun stuff about it.
I did. I was curious. So Bachfest is a beer fest that we do in the neighborhood. And it's basically celebrating all of the German beer. So like the Eisenbach, there's all these different kinds of like Bock beers, which is a type of lager, like a malty lager. And so we have this festival. And because Bock is like something with the Bavarian accent, which is German, translate to like billy goat or something, which is why the goats, they always race goats at Bachfest. And we're like, why do they do that? And that's why, because
it's like
it translates to billy goat. And then we also in NuLu have 2 alleyways. One is billy goat strut and the other one is nanny goat strut. And so that's where all the goats come into play. But it's a big street festival similar to like NuLu Fest, which you may have heard Amanda talk about. It's just another neighborhood event that brings in all the people.
Yeah.
So we love it.
I definitely told them that it was our best day.
Yeah.
Our best sales day. And just celebrated that with a lot of the guests. And multiple of the guests have had their best sales days.
Yeah.
Or months or just experiences recently. So it was really cool.
That's awesome.
And that was our best sales day probably of Q1 because it just brings so many people. And I mean, you know, a little boozy shopping.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Never hurts.
Never hurts. So I do think we should talk a little bit about how on the last season, I spoke about it often because I'm cool with, you know, putting stuff out there in the world and then having to take it back if it doesn't work out.
Yeah.
But we have actually gone up to Cincinnati in March or February of this year. And we viewed like 15 different spaces.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Oh my God, it was a lot. And we sat down, had a really yummy lunch.
I did.
Another Italian place.
Pasta that I think about often.
We had like ricotta and honey and fresh made bread. It was so good. We should definitely just go back just to have that. I wish I could remember the name of the restaurant.
It was Pep and Dolores because whenever Colton and I were up in Cincinnati last, I was like, we've got to go there.
We've got to go.
That was when we had to take Atticus, my cat, to have radiation treatment.
Oh my God.
But he's doing much better now.
Poor little baby Atticus.
Yeah, but so he was getting his treatment done and mom and dad were out eating pasta.
It's just comforting when your baby's going through treatment. So we went up there and we viewed like 15 different spaces. We chose one at lunch that we were really interested in and we thought we could make the next WOW location. And then we communicated that to the team that showed us all the spaces, like the realtor basically. And they basically said that they already wanted to put a restaurant in that space where it was like they didn't want to have a retail store. They wanted a restaurant there. So they weren't going to rent it to us.
Yeah. They tried to put us into different locations that we were like,
so many different ones.
Didn't feel good about.
We didn't feel good about them. And I was like, you know, this is the first store outside of Louisville. It's in another state. It was in Cincinnati and OTR, so like downtown Cincinnati. And I just didn't feel comfortable. I was starting to have nightmares about it.
Yeah, that's never a good sign.
No.
Well, and just considering also like the way that like the process of finding our space here in town, like everything was easy, like
organic.
Led one thing. Yeah, very organic. And I feel like whenever we do find the right next spot, like we'll have that feeling as well.
I agree. And I felt really weird about it at first because I knew that I mentioned it a lot. And I was like, well, it doesn't really matter if I've mentioned it. Like, I mean, I am somebody who executes their dreams. Don't get me wrong. But it's more of like, I felt like it wasn't right. And I didn't need to hold up anyone else's expectation for what was right for my business and what was right for us. And I felt comfortable letting that go. And then I was like, well, maybe there's a space somewhere else, you know, that would really work out. So in Q2, when we pick up the episode next time, we will tell you all about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought we could get through 2 quarters, but Q1 was so
chatty
fun.
Chatty
Cathy's today. Well, maybe we can do Q2 and Q3 or something. We'll figure it out. Whatever happens and whatever comes out of our mouths today is what's supposed to.
Yeah.
So I'm just proud of us for being present and allowing us to relive the fun celebration of having our relationship for the past 3 years at that time.
Yeah.
It was a really beautiful trip.
It was great. And I think that it also like gave us time to understand how we work, you know, in a work setting and personal life, you know, like I feel like I knew more about you afterwards and know like just how you function. That also helps at work as well.
Yeah, I agree. I felt and I wasn't like nervous or anything being together that long. I was like, oh, I think we'll be fine.
Yeah.
But I also knew like, I got to make sure, you know, Amanda, you got to shut up every once in a while. That's why we listen to Morbid. So I didn't talk for 4 days straight, which I mean, I can't really do, but I could try. And so I felt very good about that entire experience. And I really just wanted to celebrate you and celebrate us and just celebrate everything that we've created together because it has been such a difficult road with the pandemic and business loans and transitions, employees. I mean, we've had some different stuff going on with that over the past few years.
Yeah.
So it's just hard to it's hard to always step back and celebrate, but when you can and when you can afford it, which we had some cash at the time because it's right after holiday, where we get all our cash, that's definitely the time to do it.
Yeah.
So if you have employees and maybe you haven't been able to celebrate them as much as you would like to yet, just make sure to set aside that time and to save a little bit each month or something to be able to, you don't have to take them to LA for 2 weeks, but do what you can.
Yeah, do some team bonding.
Mm-hmm.
It helps.
And if I could have done those things before and if they were safe, we would have. So the fact that we got to kind of catch up on the celebrations and do everything that I knew you would love.
Yeah.
It was so fun.
We had so much fun.
So fun. And like we did so many different things that, you know, we just wouldn't have been able to do individually or wouldn't maybe have done them in this time frame or whatever.
Yeah.
And it gave us, you know, that's additional time that you're quote unquote on vacation, even though I know it was a lot of work too.
Yeah.
But we figured it out.
We did.
And we drove back that car that was so packed full.
Yeah. I'm surprised it made it up hills.
I know.
Like if we would have actually driven through Colorado, I don't know if we would have made it. Well, one, there was a snowstorm happening.
Yeah, we had to figure out which way to go, north or south.
Couldn't go that way. And it's a good thing because I don't think the car could have handled the mountains either because it was packed. She was heavy.
So much stuff. So she was dragging a little.
Yeah.
She's still around. She's okay. But yeah, we bought a bunch of fabric and
then I had my giant suitcase and stuff. Yeah.
I got so much shit out there, like from designers, and I got to like just shop from like really quality places.
Mm-hmm.
It was just cool. It was just such a cool experience, and it made me feel, you know, just so happy to spend that time with you.
Yeah.
And to celebrate you. Well, let's wrap it up here, and then we'll see if we can get through to the next time.
Yeah.
We got this.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Adrienne.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Moneymakers, for listening. And moneymakers, go out there and make that money.
If you want to put more money into the wallets of women like we do, then check out our website, thewomanownedwallet.com. And we can't wait to continue the conversation on our social media. So definitely follow us on our Instagram @womanowned.wallet and on TikTok @womanownedwallet. You can support us by following our podcast on Apple, Google, and Spotify. And don't forget to leave us a review. Thank you for listening to Woman Owned Wallet, the podcast.